Mr. Groom then paused. He was given an opportunity to tell the police where Ms. Monteiro's body was located, either by being taken to his property and pointing it out, or drawing a map, or telling the officers where her body was located, as they believed Ms. Monteiro was dead.
Where sadly we've learned police have found the body of Kylee Monteiro. Thank you for joining us on this Wednesday. I'm Mario Clario.
And I'm Allison Maloney. For more than a week now, we've been covering the desperate search for Kylee. Investigators say the 18-year-old was reported by her boyfriend missing back on August 7th. She was about 11 weeks pregnant. This morning, her boyfriend, Gregory Groom, though, will be charged.
Welcome back, Fugitive TV, and we're here giving you a quick update on the Kylee Monteiro case. Now, if you guys don't know, Kylee Monteiro was the pregnant teen who went missing. She was 18 years old, pregnant, went missing, was last seen, or actually to say not seen, but last heard of. She sent a text message and she was at her boyfriend's house. She called somebody. She was at her boyfriend's house, ex-boyfriend, on and off again, boyfriend, baby daddy, whatever you want to call him. That's where she was last at. And then he said he woke up.
Cell phone out of her hand, at which time he was going to be charged with the 3 offenses for assault and battery on domestic assault and battery on a pregnant person.
And then she was gone and he didn't know where he was at. I gave a whole map of his area. It's all a wooded area. There's nowhere to walk. There's no sidewalks, no nothing. So it was very confusing of what happened, but it wasn't confusing for me. I knew Greg had something to do with this whole time. I was digging.
Police confirmed to us early on that she was last seen here at Gregory Groom's home. Last night, the Bristol County DA said investigators had enough evidence for a search warrant of the home. Police arrived yesterday afternoon, bringing in an excavator to dig on the property. The investigation continued for hours until late last night.
As a result of the search of the property, human remains consistent with those of Kylee Monteiro have been recovered. We await confirmation from the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner.
I was going through Facebook, I was going through TikToks, I was going through all kind of stuff, and I did see that friends that of hers or that were in the circles were saying that he probably has something to do with it because of his history. He had a past and the relationship was very abusive. So come to find out what happens, he gets arrested. They arrest him for offing Kylee. Unfortunately, they did find her.
And for intimidation of a witness. When investigators continued to press Mr. Groom on the whereabouts of Ms. Monteiro, they informed him that they had applied for and were granted a search warrant for an extensive search of 107 County Street. That included not only cadaver dogs, but excavators, chemists from the Massachusetts State Police Crime Lab, and other investigators, and they informed Mr. Groom that they were prepared to search the property and dig if necessary. Mr. Groom then paused. He was given an opportunity to tell the police where Ms. Monteiro's body was located, either by being taken to his property and pointing it out, or drawing a map, or telling the officers where her body was located, as they believed Ms. Monteiro was dead. Mr. Groom ultimately drew a rudimentary map.
They found her buried on Greg's property. Now, Greg, I guess, was living in a shed on the property behind the main house. They're not saying who the main house is. I'm guessing maybe it's family. I don't know. That's just a guess. But he was living at the shed. So police actually went and, interrogated him, investigated him, said they were going to search the house. They were going to find evidence. And I guess Greg ended up spilling the beans,
indicating that he got into an argument behind a shed on the property where he was known to stay and where Ms. Monteiro stayed, that during that altercation, Mr. Groom admitted that he stabbed Ms. Monteiro twice in the neck and once in the chest. The stab wound to the chest actually broke the blade of the knife off. He used a kitchen knife to commit the stabbing, and based on that, Ms. Monteiro was deceased.
Now, Greg was already in trouble. He has some charges against him or pending against him for abuse on a pregnant woman, tampering with evidence, or tampering with a witness. He already has some charges, they saying, from August 6th, and I believe she went missing on August 7th. Now, one thing is, I did also read that he was cheating on her, and because of that, maybe that is why they got into the argument.
Mr. Groom indicated to police that he then spent several hours digging a hole in the woods, approximately 20 yards from where he was. Monteiro, and through the night after he dug, when the sun came up, he then pushed her body into the hole and covered it up.
Police end up interrogating him. They end up telling him, hey, we're going to search your property. Greg got scared and told him everything. Greg told them that they got into an argument. And when they got into an argument, he picked up a kitchen knife, poked her, I believe it was twice in the neck, or once in the chest and twice in the neck. And that was unfortunately how she passed away. This is very sad. He went and dug a hole about 20 yards deep in the forest away from the shed, took her body out there, put her in a hole, and then covered the hole up. He also, where the situation happened at, he covered up the mess, you know, because there was blood pools everywhere. He covered up the mess with shrubs and things like that, and he just put it over it.
He drew on the map the approximate location of Ms. Monteiro's remains. Officers who were conducting the search warrant then went to the shed. They noticed there was a large pile of brush right next to the shed. That was what Mr. Groom used to cover up the site of the murder, to cover up blood that was ultimately recovered, and physical evidence was recovered from the scene where the police alleged the shooting occurred. About 20 yards away in the woods, there was another large pile of brush with feet upon feet of trees, cut down trees that were piled up. Underneath that pile, the police located a rectangular hole that appeared that had been recently disturbed dirt. When the police ultimately called in medical examiners to uncover that hole, a body consistent with Kylee Monteiro was discovered approximately 5 feet underground.
He led police out to where, or drew a map to where she was found. So they had to go out there and dig her up. And then, of course, they found her. This is an unfortunate situation. We did not want this to happen. We did not want this to happen. But I knew as soon as I started reading on this, and me being in unfortunate situations I have been in, like jail, and I was in prison and things like that, I've been around people like this, and I've been around similar situations, or I should say similar people who have done this, and they were all showing the same characteristics as this guy Greg was.
Ms. Monteiro's remains were recovered last evening, and her body is at the office of the chief medical examiner undergoing identification process and undergoing an autopsy. Based on this case, the defendant's confession and the prior domestic, the Commonwealth asked this court to hold the defendant without bail.
And as soon as I saw this story, I read up on it and I started reading up on his background. It just, to me, I just knew. I was like, this man, he had something to do with it. If I was there, I would have got it out of him in 5 minutes. I knew right away. So police came out and they told today. Now, he did get arrested.
No argument, Your Honor.
Trying to be held without bail.
And any date that is convenient for counsel for a probable cause hearing.
About 30 days out.
Sure, whatever date works for you.
About September September 9th.
That's fine. Probable cause.
Oh, can we do the 10th instead, Your Honor?
Whatever day works for you.
Thank you.
September 10th, the probable cause, courtroom 3, defendant is held without bail.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
I'll see you downstairs.
Also, just seems like it's a big break, so these guys.
Court, all rise.
They discovered human remains believed to be Kylee in the backyard when police focused on a red shed and used an excavator while canines searched the nearby woods. Gregory was initially arrested on assault and battery charges for allegedly attacking Kylee the day before she vanished.
Before this had happened, I did have hope. I really did believe that she was kidnapped. That was my theory. And now that it seems like they have something, I'm worried, and my mind just goes to the worst.
He's in jail right now. He's on charges of, offing Kylee, and there's no bond, and I believe his next court date was September 9th. So this was the update. We did not want to hear this update, but this is what happened. But Greg is the one. He is definitely being charged for this. So Stay tuned. This is Fugitive TV. We're out.